Mav's Coffee Clarity with Denise is brought to you in partnership with Drive Media and Consulting and their premier sponsors. Subscribe on your favorite streaming platforms and share. If you just found us, welcome. And if you're a regular, welcome back. Denise DiGrigoli has spent her life in the creative industries as an entrepreneur, helping people transform their visions into thriving businesses, working with individuals and teams to find their purpose and live their life vibrantly. On her pod, Denise delivers business intel and life hacks with wit and wisdom in short shots like a strong espresso with a solid sense of humor. Enjoy this episode of Mav's Coffee Clarity, and here's Mav.
Welcome, my friends. You're on Mav's Coffee Clarity with Denise. Every week, we're spilling the beans. We're a show designed to help you move forward in work, love, and life. And come on, who doesn't need that? If you just found me, welcome. And if you're a regular, welcome back. This is where I interview some fascinating people that share their life's challenges, tribulations, silver linings. I believe we've all been a maverick, whether it's for a moment, a minute, or a lifetime. And on the weeks that I'm not interviewing someone, it's just me. We're taped live here in my Fairfield offices this week, sometimes in my Massachusetts offices in the Berkshires. Sometimes we go on location to your place, and of course, Zoom is always an option. Either way, we like to connect. It's like stories infused with humor, stories you can trust, like coffee with a friend. So if you are new, thank you, and thank you for listening, liking, and sharing. This week I want to talk to you about words and the clarity they bring. We've all been in situations where we've heard words that could really illuminate us. And we've also been in a place where probably we've been criticized. And criticism can really crumble us. Now, positive feedback, constructive criticism, that's one thing. But it still needs to be delivered with a bit of empathy, charisma, and elegance. So words carry vibrations. Like, when you toss a pebble in a pond, it creates a ripple. When you plant a seed and you fertilize it and water it and weed it, it grows in a positive manner, hopefully. Words have the ability to do that, like colors on a canvas. And I often think when I am working with teams or individuals that sometimes we can be very intuitive about our words, we can be very conscious about our words, or we can be very disruptive and just let it fly. So how is it that we can work with our words to bring the best out in dialogues, conversations, and collaborations? Whether you're talking to your baby, a child, your boss, a coworker, a stranger, or you're in a giant RFP presentation and you're trying to illuminate the best things out of this presentation for your potential prospect or client, it all starts with your words. Actually, it starts with your thoughts and then your words follow. So if you have a lot of automatic negative thoughts, I call them ants, you might be predisposed to saying some crazy stuff. Not literally crazy, but just like off the cuff, like, this project is a mess. This house is a mess. We'll never get it done. Now, of course, in frustration, you might say those things, right? But if you are setting out to be the best you can be in whatever you're doing, again, with baby, coworker, boss, stranger in the grocery store, you might want to consciously choose your words. How does that start? Well, I'm a firm believer that it starts with your inner dialogue. So if you're constantly criticizing yourself and you're not good enough and you have this rhetoric of self-criticism, you're going to blurt that out. That's just my belief. I believe everybody is exactly where they need to be and nobody is broken. We're just moving forward on Mavs Coffee Clarity. We're designed to move forward. So if you have a sort of a resting rate of self-criticism, what can we do? Let's think about the positive skills that you have that make you you. I think as a society, we are often polishing up the things that really we find not so nice about ourselves, and we're trying to improve them in order to fit in. So if you take a moment and polish the skills that really work for you, that are sort of your diamonds, and let those glow more brilliantly, the stuff that's not so fabulous or that you really want to work on might just come along easier instead of berating yourself. And I'm a big lifelong learner. I love to take classes. I train sales teams. I train executive leadership. I'm always trying to learn something new. I'm just a very curious person that way. Right now, I've been practicing learning the Italian language, for example, and I don't even have actual clients in Italy. So I'm not doing it for business, I'm doing it for me. But all of that is sort of the energy I'm giving myself to move forward. So think about ways that you can look at things with a different point of view. You can try something new and maybe not have that sort of imposter syndrome or that criticism that says, geez, I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have done the other. I always say, don't should on yourselves. Don't should on yourself and don't should on others. Okay, so that's the first part of clarity in language, is self-talk. And then it's being really prepared for your impact when you're communicating. If you've got to deliver a really tough message to a client, maybe you missed a deadline, maybe the scope of work has changed and the cost is going to increase. The way you carry your energy and the vibration and the selection of words that come out of your mouth are going to make a very big impact when you have to deliver that message. So instead, oh my God, I'm so sorry, we missed the deadline, this person didn't do this, that person didn't do that, or I forgot this, or whatever it might be. Said client, we'll call her Jane Doe or John Doe. We've been working on this situation. We've noticed that it's not where it needs to be, and this is what we're working on in order to bring it to where it needs to be. Yes, it's a bit, you can accept the accountability. It's a bit, not what we had initially started to work on, or the scope has changed, but this is how it's going to better the overall program. And this is what we're going to do to bring it forward. So it takes some conscious thinking about it. Oftentimes people will just blurt things out that can actually make it worse. So if you've got a tough situation, a little bit of thought goes a long way, and well-chosen words delivered with a temperament and body language that's believable. So yes, communication is key. Vibration of words is key. However, if you don't believe what you're saying, your body language will communicate that. What do I mean? Believe it or not, my friends, 70% of what you say is felt through your body language. So if a person's saying, I love you dearly, you're so fabulous, but deep down inside they are not, the body language will override the words. So that's very important to keep those words in sync. The other thing that I think is really important is if you have a positive inner dialogue, or at least more so than not, you can be Jane Doe or Johnny Doe on the spot. What does that mean? Well, in improv, it's yes and instead of but. I don't really like the word but. And often when I'm working with sales teams or individuals, I'll say, let's replace the word but with yet. I wish I could do that thing, but I can't. Oh, did you see how we just went up the hill and down over the cliff? I wish I could do that, yet I have a better solution. What would you think of this? So you present it with a yet, you give an idea, and you ask a question. Now everybody's involved. And in the world of improv, when you go yes and, you open the door for more creative collaboration. So for example, In an improv class, which is taught in sketch and stand-up, yes, and the next person, no matter what you say, it's that milk chocolate bar tastes like rancid meat. Yes, and I think we can blah, 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 blah. So that's how it's done to make it funnier, but to keep the conversation going and the creativity going. Yes, and it's a door opener. But to me, you'll see me use but very little. There is a sign I like that says, yet, but coffee first, and I think that's funny. However, if I'm communicating with you and I've got to tell you but, you can bet your bippy I'm probably going to say yet. Also, sometimes when I'm working with teams and we're in powerful strategic sales negotiations. So that doesn't mean strategic like manipulation. That means conscious communication to me. And in conscious communication or strategic communication, I'm helping people develop vocabularies that make sense for whatever they're doing in their chosen field. And believe it or not, it helps them in their personal world too. Because then you start to think a little bit more before you speak. My grandmother would always say you have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. True. Avid listening is a very important part of any strategic communication package or program. But then, after you've listened, you've got to be prepared to respond. And I like to say to people, it is never free. I know everybody likes something for free. Oh, free. That's how Walmart gets you in. They roll back the prices. It's for free. Well, it's not really free at Walmart. Okay, maybe not that example. But, you said but. Yet. Oh, I lost my train of thought there because I went against my own thought there. Yet, free is that golden carrot to many people. And there's a certain audience that will only go unless it's a free bongo, buy one, get one free. Today is free Tuesday, whatever it might be. So free, to me, creates no value. If you're giving it away for free, is it yesterday's stale bread or 5-day-old fish? I don't know. If you want to create value, how about we try this word? Complimentary. It's complimentary today. Try it. Try the subscription today. It's complimentary. Might not be there, the offer tomorrow, but try it. It's complimentary. Sounds much better, right? And then sometimes I use very well poignant humor to grab people's attention, to diffuse a situation, to make it lighter, to open the door. So I might say, it never smells, my friend. It has a unique aroma. I don't know. Would you want something smelling or something with a unique aroma? So you can use a little humor in your communication to open the door, to make a connection. Smart humor, not to punch down humor. Self-deprecating, you might see me use that now and again. I like humor that people can relate to, that will create a smile. Business humor is very different than stand-up humor, perhaps, depending on the circumstance. But humor, believe it or not, is like one of the number one things used more recently in advertising, really to make the connection, because people can relate to the various things in the world that no one really, points out on a regular basis. So if you point it out in a funny way, you will make a deeper connection. And that's kind of how to be Johnny on the spot, again, without being disparaging to anyone. Maybe yourself a little bit. There's a little wisdom and self-deprecating humor when I say, "Oh my God, I'm so short. I can't reach, the cupboard. That's why I talk loud, so you can hear me." Because I've been given the feedback that I talk a little loud. I don't know if you guys think that or not. But the one thing I do know is when I'm talking to you, I'm engaging you in your eyes. I'm making eye contact. And I really believe that every human interaction, regardless of what the person is, who they are in your life, any sort of group, I'm not even going to review all the groups, but every human deserves your full attention, looking in your eyes. And the way I approach it, even if I'm not, particularly fond of someone that I need to communicate with, I first try to remember they're human, and I try to appreciate the human being they are. Even if they don't do things the way I do them, believe in the things I believe in, I try to find some true connection point that I can appreciate. Whether they're great at their job, they're great at their parenting, they're great at their writing, they're great at any number of things. I try to find an appreciation point. And if I can't find an appreciation point that seems rather simple to find, I'm just thankful that they're willing to sit with me and listen and have a conversation. So that very basic thank you. My grandmother used to always say, well, I've referenced her a few times today. She had some good wisdom. The two words thank you are the most powerful words that you can say. And they have such vibration. Now, tone does play a part here. Thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you. I appreciate you. I see you. I value you. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. Thank you for taking care of that. Really great. If you say it a little snarky, like, oh, thank you. About time. Very different vibration. But in general, the words thank you are very, very powerful. Just think about the time in your life where someone really thanked you for something and how it made you feel. That's the old adage from Maya Angelou, right? People don't necessarily remember every single word, but they remember how you made them feel. And that's the complexity of picking out words and consciously putting together a conversation. Because your words matter and the vibration matter, but the body language and how you say it and your sincerity matters. So I wanted to share a few words with you, my friends, that you could add to your vocabulary just as anchors in your future collaborations. Again, whether it's with a boss, a baby, a coworker, a new client, somebody in your family. Here are the words I want you to kind of think about. And if you sign up for the bi-weekly brew that we send out bi-weekly that has a connection to this podcast, I will send you these tips or these words. We try to give a little extra value in our bi-weekly brew. And guess what? We're not going to be spamming, selling your data, or spamming up your email. We don't have time for that. We're very busy. Okay, here's the words. Achievement, alignment, clarity, Maps Coffee Clarity, collaboration, confidence, engagement, excellence, you're excellent, execution, growth, impact, initiative, integrity, integration, leadership, optimization, optimal, performance, productivity, resilience, strategy, success, synergy, thank you, transformation, vision, and value. All great words. And listen, the English language has millions of these words. These are just Mav's top 25 for today. Conversely, let's listen to some words we should probably stay away from. Can't, chaos, disaster, downsize, failure, fail, fault, hate, hopelessness, impossible, incompetent, lack, lazy, mess, mistake, neglect, never, pathetic, problem, stupid, threat, useless, weakness, won't, worthlessness. Okay, listen. You could probably say to me, any statistic can be proven, Denise. I could use those negative words in a positive manner. Let's not split hairs here. Here's the reality. The vibration of that second list I just read you is negative. It's just negative. And yes, we do need to deliver messages that are uncomfortable at times, and we may have to use those things like downsizing or we failed at this project. But that's not the point of this conversation. This conversation is having conscious awareness of the words you use. So you're flexing that muscle. I believe everybody's creative. And creating the muscle where you are using a language and a body language and an energy that's more geared towards success and connecting in with the people you're talking to, even a child, is exceptionally important to your own success. Again, my grandmother used to say, you absolutely cannot be a success until you help someone else be a success. And it starts with your words, my friends. It just does. So I leave you with this thought. Choose your words wisely. Bring your self-talk in order. And let your light shine through how you communicate. Everybody needs your version of you. Your version of you, whatever that looks like, in a positive, move forward kind of manner. All right, my friends, it's the weekend and Mav is going to try to go to the beach tomorrow. Peace out. I'm not going to say I have to get back to work this time. I'm going to say make sure you take care of yourself and those that you love. Mav's Coffee Clarity. Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts and on YouTube. For more information about my creative services, go to DeniseDiGregoli.com and sign up for that bi-weekly brew. Follow me on social. Peace out.